takes a man a long time to learn all the lessons of all his mistakes. They say there are two sides to everything, but there is only one side to the stock market, and it is not the bull side or the bear side, but the right side. It took me longer to get that general principle fixed firmly in my mind than it did most of the more technical phases of the game of stock speculations. I I have heard of people who amounts themselves conducting emergency operations in the stock market to prove with imaginary dollars how right they are. Sometimes they ghost gamblers make millions. It is very easy to be a plugger that way. It is like the old story of the moon man who was going to fight a duel the next day. His second asked him, "Are you a good shot?" "Well," said the duelist, "I can snap the string of a winglass at 20 pace." And he looked modest. "That's all very well," sighed the unprecious second, "but can you snap the stem of the winglass?" "Will the winglass in pointing loaded pistol straight at your heart? With me, I must back my opinion with my money. My losses have taught me that I must not bring to advance until I am sure I shall not have to retreat. But if I can't advance, I do not move at all. I don't mean by this that a man should not limit his losses when he is wrong. He should, but that should not breed indications. All my life I have made mistakes, but I losing money. I have gained experience and accumulation. A lot of valuable don'ts have been flat broke several times, but my losses never been a total loss. Otherwise, wouldn't be here. No, I always know I would have another chance, and that I would not make the same mistakes a second time. I believed in myself. A man must believe in himself and judgment in expense to make a living at the game. That is why I don't believe in tips. If I buy stock on Smith tip, I must sell some stock on Smith tip. I am depending on him. Suppose Smith away on a whole holiday when the selling time comes around. No sir, nobody can make big money. One what some else tells him to. I know from experience that nobody can give me a tip or a sprays of tips that will make more money from men than my own judgment. I it took me 5 years to learn to play the game intelligently enough to make big money. Why? When I was right, I don't have as many interesting experience as you might imagine. I mean the process of learning how to speculate doesn't not seem every dramatic at the distance. I went broke several times and what is never pleasant, but the way I lost money is the way everybody lost money who lost money in Wall Street. Speculation is a hard and trying business, and a speculation must be on the job all the time, or he'll soon have no job to be on. My mistake, I sold have know after my early reverse at fluorescence was very simple to look at speculation from any other angle, but I don't know that there was much more to the game than I could possibly learn in the bucket shops. There thought I was betting the game when in reality I was only betting the shop at the same time that tap reading ability that trading in bucket shop developed in me and the trading of my money memory have been extremely valuable. Both of those things come easy to me. I own my yearly success as a trader to then and not to my brains or knowledge because my mind was under untrained in my ignorance in was colossal. The game taught me the game and it don't spare the road will teaching. I remember my every first day in New York. I told you who the bucket shops my refusing to take my business drove me to seek a reputable commission house. One of the boys in the office where I got my first job was working for Harding Brothers, members of the New York Stock Exchange, arrived in the city in the morning and before one closed someday I had opened an account with the firm and was ready to trade. I didn't explain to you know how natural it was for me to trade three exactly as I had done in the bucket shops where all I did was to be fluctuation and catch small but sure changes in prices. Nobody offered to paint out the sensational difference or set me right. If somebody had told me my method would not work, I never stainless would have tired it out to make sure for myself. For when I am wrong, only one thing convinces me of it, and that is to lose money. And I am only right when I make money. That is speculation. They were having some pretty lively times Thursday, and the market was very active. That always, always cheapers a fellow if felt at home right away. There was the old farmer quotation board in front of me, talking a language that I had learned before I was 15 years old. There was a boy doing exactly the something I used to in the first office I ever worked in. There were the customers, some old bunch looking at the board or standing by the ticket calling. But the price and talking about the market, the machinery was too all appearance the some machinery that I was used to the atmosphere was the atmosphere I had bring since I had made my first stock market money $3 in Burlington. The some kind article and the same kind of traders there were for the same kind of game and remember I was only 22. I suppose I thought I know the game from A to Z way, shouldn't it? I watched the board and saw something that looked good to me. It was behaving right. I thought 100 at 84. I get out of at 85 in less than half hour. Then I saw something easy I liked and I did the same things. Took three quarters of a point net within a very short time. A begin will didn't. Now mark this on that.